We join the Super Legit crew before the show as they discuss the completely non-controversial topic of student loan forgiveness.
Listen, I paid my student loans off years ago, and I think all these people who still have student loans should have gotten to go to college for free already. So let's go.
We're spoken like a true teacher.
I don't understand why other people now get to have cures for diseases people died of years ago. It's unfair to polio itself.
You know what? That iron lung helped me build character.
That's right. Still is.
I traveled for months across that ocean, and you're telling me somebody's going to travel it in a mere day over the air? Bullshit. Welcome back, everyone, to the Super Legit Podcast. I am your host, Jet Kaufman, and let's see who we've got here with us this week. We've got Chris Compton.
Hello.
Stephen C. James.
Well, howdy, y'all.
Sean Michael Boozer.
I am here.
Josh Spence.
Yeah, man.
Jen Burton.
Hello.
My co-host, Michael Hyman.
Co-host.
Woo! And our guest for this week, Douglas Sarine. Hi, Douglas. Welcome.
It is a pleasure to be here.
Oh, listen to that.
Oh, that was the
Wow.
best
So
one.
kind, respectful.
Already more professional than the rest of us.
Can we redo the intros? I feel
He is in for disappointment on this
I
episode.
feel severely underdressed for this podcast.
No, this suit, I was coming from something else. So this suit
Okay.
has nothing.
That clatter you heard was the sound of the bar being raised.
Were you coming from winning a Baccarat tournament? Because you've got a real James Bond thing going there.
Yes, I didn't want to brag of that. I did win the tournament. Yes.
Oh,
Oh, wonderful.
It was a successful endeavor. I also happened to foil 2 international plots for people who were trying to take over one guy was trying to take over the world. One guy was trying to blow up the world. So
Happens at every Baccarat game.
Did you
Always.
basically just point them at each other and let them kind of just take each
You know
other?
what?
One of
It
them
was.
will foil the other.
Yeah.
it was a classic,
Give
like
them
I
a-
just kind of got out of the way and then they hit each other.
Yes.
I got
The
credit.
people behind you passing canapes, is that your personal staff or what's going on with them?
Yeah, they're all agents. They're all agents in disguise.
Oh,
But they are all real canapes.
Oh,
real
wow.
delicious.
Oh, wow. I did not see that
Yeah.
coming.
I don't mean to hype you up too much, but the whole thing where you have 2 super villains cancel each other out, that's also a great way to teach kids algebra. Yeah,
That's
so thank you for that.
It
Yeah.
really,
Yeah,
it
you're good
really
at
is.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I do a little bit of work in the public school system where I just stop by when I have a moment. I'm trying not to do it too often because often people are chasing me or
Yeah, that's true.
that's true. That's
don't like to put the kids in harm's
That's
way.
a drill right there.
Unless I have to.
That's a definite
Yeah.
drill.
Unless it's a really difficult math
But,
problem.
absolute value is worth losing a few kids. I'm going to be honest with you.
It is important mathematically.
I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. If a lot of women get on me for the fact that a lot of women die around me,
Yes.
and
so
I
they
just say
get on you and die.
brag
Got
over
it.
you can't save the world without breaking a few omelets.
Hey, Jet, seriously, can we pause the recording so I can put on pants now? She's so overdressed.
I do love the idea of a hitman with a steel jaw digging in his phone for an email that confirms his TB test to show it to a woman at the front desk to get in. Look, I've done my live scan.
I don't usually wear glasses, and it's not opening on my app. Just give me a second.
This went so inside baseball so quickly.
It really did.
I
More
mean,
than
that's
James
just
Bond.
that's an episode of Super Legit, isn't it? That's just what we do. But let's do the other thing we do on an episode of Super Legit Podcast and throw out
That's right, Jen.
the
Question
question.
time.
Yes, thank you, co-host Michael Hyman. So here it is. What's your first memory growing up of true freedom? A lot of kids, especially either lead sheltered lives, or even if you didn't have a sheltered life, but you've got that sense of home and how everything works, and your parents in control of everything. And there's finally that moment where it's like, no, I actually am in control of this situation myself, and I get to make some degree of decisions that feel free. What's an example one of you
I
have?
have a question to your question. Does this have to be kid related?
No,
because it seems like you're going for kid stuff, and I got
some of us took a lot longer to find freedom.
Yeah,
I got some things that required things to be unscrambled for freedom. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, it takes a while to reach the level of maturity for some people, or even the opportunities. I mean, some people feel really trapped in a situation, so that may not have come till well into adulthood. So yeah, give me whatever
you have
got.
the perception of freedom at a certain point as a child,
right?
And then later you realize, oh, that wasn't actual.
Exactly.
This dude is overdressed for this fucking podcast. Perception? I don't even know what that word fucking means. What do we?
I'm 100% on board with what Douglas said. Like, I had this idea of freedom, and then once I had a wider vision of the world, I realized as a black man, I did not actually have that freedom. But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So this has been a great episode.
SMB, I'm going to hop right on there with you, because there's also that thing where it's like, there was that illusion of freedom. And then I got old enough to watch the news.
Yeah.
I had a dumb joke answer to this. Just not going to be funny anymore.
Great question, Jed. Great question, buddy.
It wasn't going to be to begin with.
Was it the exact same thing that caused my illusion? You were watching the news and you were like, I got it great. White man in America. Free ride since 1776.
The rest of you will wait for it, kind of, by 1865. But what are you going to do? Hey, no, actually, I've got an answer to that question.
That song never took off. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think it's catchy as hell. That's weird.
Yeah, right. Prince went with 1999. It's crazy.
I've got an answer to that question.
Yeah.
Dude, my parents were super involved in my life, and always in control of where I was going and what was going to happen. But the person that was my best friend had parents that were much older. They were like when 6th grade or so, they were already in their late 50s. So they were much more chill. So when I would hang out with him, it was awesome because it was complete freedom to do whatever. Like, he didn't even have to check in with them in terms of where we were going and when we were back. It was awesome. So
did he have older siblings?
No, he wasn't
like a surprise child. Oh wow!
No, he was adopted. So maybe that was why they were so hands off.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Those are expensive.
They didn't care. That's the underlying.
No, his parents were great and loving, but they were very like, they had an open marriage. They were very hippie-ish. They were very like free form, and
they had an open marriage, and you were aware of it in high school. Is that That's a very laid back family.
That is a very, very open marriage.
Did you have sex with your friend's mom?
That's a legit question. I was thinking the same thing.
I did not.
Was that your moment of freedom?
I love you. Yes.
Or his dad.
I can tell you this. The way I found out was we were this person and I were in the back seat.
He didn't say no. He didn't say no.
Yeah. And his parents were driving us somewhere, and his mom was talking to his dad about somebody she was currently dating. And I'm like, what is happening? And then they just explained to me what was going on. Like, that's the kind of level of maturity they assume that you could handle. Like this is how we work. We're still committed to each other. But when, you're attracted to someone else, you're allowed to act on those. I was like, what is going on? But my point is the freedom issue. Like, dude, it was so great to be. This is when Phoenix was wide open. I lived on the outskirts. Yeah. So we would go riding our bikes in the desert, and like my little bike, my little Wildfire, I think it was a JCPenney catalog order. Dude, we would be out there for hours in the desert, just cruising through washes, doing little jumps. And we were on our own to do whatever. This is before the days of cell phones. Mm-hmm. It was the most freedom I think I've ever, it's even to this day that I've felt. You were out there doing whatever you decided to do for the day. It was incredible.
Super.
Hey, Bobby, who's your little friend? Introduce me, please.
This is my friend. Eric is his name.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Ms.
Welcome. Welcome to the Johnson household. I'm so happy to have you here. Make yourself at home. Bobby's been saying wonderful things about you. It's so nice to finally have you here.
Thank you guys so much for having me. You guys have a beautiful house you have.
Do you want to, Eric? Right, Eric? You said yeah. Do you want a quick tour,
Eric?
Yeah.
Before we go though, Eric, you should know. My parents are swingers, so don't be put off by that or surprised. It's cool. They're loving people. They just have a different take than the standard. They're more bohemian in their approach to relationships.
You must be Bobby's little friend Eric.
This is Eric.
Yeah. Eric. Good to meet you.
Ashante, I am Bobby's mommy, but you can call me Elisa. That's Elisa, Elisa.
Hey, Mitzi.
Eric, you should know that my mom puts on airs and speaks French from time to time. Don't be put off by it. It's just something she does.
Oh, please do not insult me like that, s'il vous plaît.
And I find it so
hi,
sexy.
I'm Amelia. I'm Elisa's lover.
Hi.
Oh,
Hi.
Hey.
I was just in the bathroom.
Hey, Amelia. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Good to meet you.
Amelia wears a gimp suit. Don't be put off by that.
Yeah.
It's just part of the whole deal.
And
I didn't have
so
time
you,
to change.
You have the full understanding, that's Elisa's girlfriend. We don't actually hook up at all.
No, I'm not attracted to him.
So, Frank, if I'm hearing this right, I take a list of what you do good and bad throughout the whole year, then I work hard to give you those presents on Christmas Day. But what you're telling me now that not only is it not enough to have one major holiday, you need presents multiple times a year, and you actually need to celebrate that at other houses as well.
I think so. I think that's pretty much. I think you got it. Wait, run that by me one more time. I want presents.
Yeah, and that's like my job as Santa Claus. I make sure you're a good boy and write down all the things you do that's good and weigh them out versus. That's a lot of work for me. I'm committed to making sure you get the best presents. But now you're telling me that you need not only more presents than one day a year, but also you go to multiple houses, like with your friend Bobby and your friend Eric, and you celebrate with them as well.
It's just an open Christmas. It's what I call an open Christmas.
Open? Okay, I'm really trying to wrap my head around that. Open Christmas. Okay, I mean, initially, 2,000 years ago, we had it in some day in December or in September, and now we moved it to December, and now you're telling me that you want more people involved?
Yes.
And all of that, Eric, is a part of our belief system of an openness, like things like open Christmas and open Hanukkah and, open Valentine's Day is a big part of it.
Mom,
all of that
Mom,
is.
Mom.
I'm still explaining. Okay,
Eric left about 10 minutes ago.
Let your mom be open.
I'm trying to be open.
I know I'm not an official part of the family, but I think
Amelia?
everyone here should be allowed to speak.
Yeah, thank you, Amelia.
I might change out of my gimp suit, just so you know, because it's getting chilly.
I was just trying to let you know that Eric left like 20 minutes ago during the prelude to your speech.
Oh, well, that is a shame.
Yeah.
Because I also believe in open parenting, and I was hoping to bring him in the fold so you could have a sibling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, God, I wish he
better.
hadn't left. That would be so great to have someone else to take the pressure off of me as the only son.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if he left like that, how open-minded is your friend? Is he really the kind of friend that you want?
I feel like
we
he's
want in our home.
He's not bound by the confines of a conversation of saying hello and goodbye and not just leaving. He seems like the most open of all of us.
Oh,
That's a really good point.
I don't know about that. He didn't even respondez-vous s'il vous plaît to our invitation.
Mom, I don't speak French.
Well, I believe that is your own fault. All right. I didn't know what your poids is as far as you saying that you don't even speak French. All right.
Okay, I just looked that up, and you could have just said RSVP, and I would have totally understood. I feel like Mom, Dad, Amelia. I'm saying your name wrong. You're very intimidating.
Everybody does it.
I just feel like there's a lot to deal with in this house, and I think if we just maybe stuck to one language, that might be a small step towards normalizing my existence.
Look, I'm getting a vibe from you that you're a little put out because while your parents were talking, I just turned around and walked out the door.
No, Eric. I thought it was cool. I actually wish I could just sometimes turn around and walk out of the door myself, but I'm trapped, man.
See,
trapped in there.
What you got to realize is the continuity is a construct put upon us by the patriarchy. Okay? We are meant to follow our own conversational desires, all right? And it's going to be more healthy. I'm going to want to talk to them more when I come back. So anyway, the point is, Mary, what I need you to do is can you give me a hand with my geometry? I'm getting lost in all the whole like sine trigonometry thing.
You're asking me for help with your trigonometry algebra homework?
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. Look, I get the feeling that you were a little put out by me walking out on your parents in the middle of that conversation.
No, what I was thinking was like, that's great. I would like to turn around and walk out. I would love that freedom to do that.
That's it. And you have that freedom because this is a construct placed upon you by the patriarchy. Continuity of conversation is, so what happens is Link goes through that first cave and you can get a sword, right? And then you take that and then that's what you then go through. So, okay, look, Jules, is Ganon is this, I don't know what he is. Like kind of some kind of monster, right? But
yeah, I know you're telling me it's dangerous to go alone, but do I have to take this sword?
I mean, you could go without the sword, but I feel like you're
right.
You're gonna die. I know you're gonna have the shield. You'll have the shield, so you can.
That's
you
a
can block
defensive
things.
posture. That works.
Sure, but how are you going to actually put a stop to the attacker? They're just going to go around the shield, eat you from behind.
Like, old man.
I've got some bombs.
That's what you want to be called.
I've got some bombs. Yes, old. I prefer old man. Yes.
Okay. I mean, that sounds okay. Old man. It's a wooden sword.
What's derogatory about accurately describing my age? I've been around a long time. I've earned this title.
This is true.
You seem. I'm trying to give you a sword.
You're old
I'm trying
man.
to give you a free sword. I mean, this is beggars.
It's a wooden
beggars
sword.
can't be choosers. Oh,
it's a wooden. I just think in this overworld, there's going to be bows and arrows and silver arrows and potions, and at some point, there's going to be a magical sword.
You think you sitting right in front of me with just 3 hearts above your head can handle a large metal sword? You don't think you have to work up to that kind of responsibility?
No, I mean, I think I have to have
Look, Zelda, it's been about 3 weeks. I don't think he's coming.
Oh no.
Look, I feel bad because the worst part about this is accidentally making you feel unwanted.
I feel very bad about myself.
Look.
And I can't believe he's not here.
Look.
This is very upsetting. I mean, he said he was going to be here. Maybe he couldn't find the right sword. I don't know.
Look, Zelda, I may be a monster, but I'm not a monster, okay? And I want you to know that nothing...
Hey, Zelda, I mean, it could be worse, all right? The only thing worse than being alone is wishing you were alone, all right? I'm a princess who is constantly being chased down by Mario. I got to move from castle to castle. You don't know what it's like to have a stalker, all right? At least you get to have a life of your own.
In fact, I don't know a lot about myself, to be honest.
Oh, Zelda, you got to take a long dive into you.
Hi, it's me, Mario. Hi, princess. I just laid down that there flagpole back there.
No, I know. I saw Mario. I saw you slide down that flagpole. Listen, I was planning on leaving. I was just stepping out the door. All right, listen. I'm as sweet as a Georgia peach, and I do not want you to get anywhere near me. All right, I need you to stay as far away as possible. All right.
You're so lucky that someone's interested in you.
Look, maybe because I'm all hopped up on mushrooms right now. But I am so full of love, I could just rip a fireball out of my mustache. That sounds like a metaphor. But look, I got turtles in my shoes. I am ready for love.
Let's go home. Come on. You're embarrassing us all.
Hey, Mario, have you met my friend Zelda?
Hey, Zelda, how you doing? Listen,
I'm okay.
I'm the T-shaped guy from Tetris. So,
I've heard of
I know what it's
you.
like to not feel like you fit in.
I feel like maybe I have amnesia or something. Like, people seem to know a lot more about my life than I know about my own life, beyond the fact that my name is Zelda.
Zelda, at least you have a name. I'm just T-shaped guy.
Wow, you just turned into a right angle.
I don't know if I had
And
that
now
in
you're
me.
a square.
I can morph.
I know more about you than myself.
Maybe there is something to this idea of self-exploration. I feel like just in the 10 seconds I've known you, I've learned so much more about myself. Why don't you, Zelda, look inward?
Thanks for coming in, T-Shape from Tetris. I need you to read the part of Burgess Meredith playing the role of Mickey from Rocky. Any monologue will do.
I gotta catch you, Rock. I gotta catch you. That's all it says here.
Oh, sorry, that's the wrong side. Yeah, you're good. You're hired.
Legit.
Legit.
It was a perfect impression, Jen, of Zelda.
I figured that she's got a very deep voice and knows nothing. Is that right?
And that's what made her a
as much as I
legend.
know about the game.
Yep.
That's what made her a legend.
I appreciate your interpretation of her.
Thank you.
Okay, Jet, what's the question again?
What's your first memory growing up of true freedom?
Oh, okay, I got one. I got a couple, but
Sweet.
Wait, how can you have a couple firsts?
Oh,
How can you have a couple first memories?
because they're different things, buddy.
This is why he's the co-host.
Depends on how honest you are.
Way to listen carefully.
They
just
all
answered this
happen
question.
simultaneously.
Multiverse.
Bring it,
Okay.
Josh. I want to hear how this works.
Yeah, wait, time out.
I'm going to override the co-host.
No. You guys are telling me you can't have first one thing and then a first something
Well,
else.
the
and then
question
like a first whatever.
is,
and
what is
then-
your first feeling of true freedom? And as far as Earth 616, Josh,
But there's
concerned,
different types
we'd
of
like-
freedoms. We discussed this.
Okay,
Remember? And then
okay.
we went to the whole thing about Jed asking a bad question.
I love how everyone who didn't give the question is so much more particular about the rules of it than I am.
You don't get the answer. I pass.
I want the
I
answer,
pass.
Josh. I have no
Oh.
concerns whatsoever.
My feelings are hurt.
All right, we're going to come around to Josh later. Who
No,
else has
really.
it?
I have one.
Okay,
So
great.
the first
Do
time, again, I love the answers earlier, and this is going to be so trivial, but I remember like one of my first jobs, and you get your paycheck. I didn't even have a bank account. I had to go to like fucking check cashing where they took like,
Oh yeah, like
a-
Knicks or whatever. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I remember going home and like watching the Dodgers, and like it was the first time I ordered my own pizza.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no better feeling than getting like the combo you want, the toppings you want, and then ordering the extras, the buffalo wings. You know what I mean? Like that's,
With your own money for yourself without having to care what other people want out of the meal.
buddy, those were the
Yeah.
best wings. I am still chasing that high to this day. Like, and the pizza, right? I remember it was from Amici's.
Oh yeah.
Large. It was the Pizza Twins deal, extra cheese, sausage, pepperoni. Right. And that meant a big deal because my dad always ordered the mushrooms, and I hate mushrooms. And he would get extra mushrooms. And
Did he
then-
know you didn't like mushrooms?
Yeah. Well, you know my dad, so you tell me, Sean
I'm
Michael.
always amazed at the level of just.
You know my father.
Sorry, yeah.
Sean Michael, did my dad order extra mushrooms knowing that I hated mushrooms?
He absolutely
He
did.
fucking did.
Super. Happy anniversary, sweetheart. Oh, I am just so glad to be here, just celebrating this wonderful day with you.
Oh, this is wonderful.
I mean-
I love you, honey.
I love you too.
22,
it's been 10 years.
beautiful. Oh,
22.
I was counting when we were dating.
Oh,
and
you
then,
weren't?
but you
Okay.
know what? You're right. It's
I took
10 from
forever
when
to
we were
propose.
married.
Yeah.
It took you a long time.
I know. 12
years.
took us a while to plan that wedding too. But I just remember at that wedding, just that feeling of knowing that that steak was going to be like a nice medium well, like pink in the middle, but not too gray on the outside. And there was going to be a really good sear on it. It just really, it gave me something to just really look forward to that entire day.
Oh, well, are you talking about the actual steak?
Yeah, the steak at the reception. I was just like,
oh, okay.
The whole day,
I'm sorry. For a minute, I zoned out and I thought you were saying I was the steak. That I was the steak, and that was your memory of me. Of this.
No.
That of like being seared on the outside but delicious on the inside.
I love you, hon, but you're no steak. I mean,
okay. I'm going to try not to be offended by that.
No. I'd say like you're like a chicken cutlet. You know, one of those things where at first you think they ordered the thigh because it was less expensive, but then you realize it has more flavor than the breast, you know?
Well, I think that's a compliment, and I'm going to say yes to that. Thank you.
Oh,
and you are like a lobster tail with butter, expensive, hard to get the meat out. And expensive, but you like it. It's delicious. It's good when it finally gets in your mouth.
Morgan, I noticed that you did say expensive twice. I don't mean to nitpick, sweetheart, but you did say expensive twice.
I'm just saying. Yeah. No, I mean,
I admit, yeah. Financially, I am currently, let's say, a non-contributor to our house of coffers.
Yeah, for 10 years since our wedding day.
Well, it's just because I feel like I've been chasing that steak feeling as far as employment goes. You know, I will find some place where I will start to work, and then I will be like, you know what? This place is more like an Alfredo platter where things have cooled a bit slightly. So instead of getting all the flavors, everything's gotten a little bit granular. You know?
Ooh, yeah. I do know what it's sort of like you're a bowl of ice cream that was good 10 years ago, but it's been sitting on the table for a really long time and just melted and molded, and like things are growing on it, and a rat has come by to eat some. Kind of like that, but it still looks good. I mean, somebody wants to eat it.
I mean, I've got a lot of time to work out now. I just still, I feel like we might be talking around some issues here. You know, I feel like we should just directly get into what we're really feeling. You know, like when they put a pizza in like the 900-degree oven and it just cooks really fast, and you get exactly what you want, exactly as quick as you want.
It's on fire,
and then it's just ready for you.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Let's just hash it out.
Lay it on the table like utensils.
Yeah.
Like a set of utensils.
Yeah. Like and like a fork and knife, not like chopsticks where we kind of clumsily pick at it a little bit.
Okay,
we pretend we know what we're doing. Let's just.
I think that if I don't know how to put this, but I've been having some shrimp on the side.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
That is wow.
I have somebody who is, you know, he's like an appletini, paid for already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like an appletini sent over by someone across the bar?
Over, but while you're also wearing a dress that was purchased by the appletini. And then the appletini just like makes gentle love to you, various parts of the house, and it's this is probably the wrong time to have this conversation.
No, sweetheart.
On our anniversary.
I think this is the perfect time, because I said on that day I wanted to see you happy as I was when I bit into our Thai toast appetizer and discovered that the peanut sauce had blended perfectly. And if it is exactly 10 years to the day that our relationship ends, But I mean, I am willing to allow you to drink appletinis and shrimp on the side if it continues to, hold our relationship together. I'm willing to have an open menu.
You'll have an open menu with me?
Well, it
so
seems
if
that
I wanted to get
have
breadsticks and also lasagna and also the appetizer platter with lots of different things on it, you'd be all right with that.
I would be completely in support of that, just so long as you made sure you used a napkin, just so there wasn't any mess that wound up coming home.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think that can be arranged.
Okay.
I think we can work this out. And you know what? If you want to get out there, just dive your face into a chocolate cake, you can do that.
If I can be completely honest with you, if we can continue this metaphor,
let's just keep going.
I've tried going to restaurants before, and they've said, we don't serve your kind.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
That is...
Yeah, there was really no service for me at any restaurant, and I've been to a lot of
maybe
restaurants.
you're going to the wrong restaurants.
No,
there's restaurants in the newspaper and on Craigslist.
I know. I have definitely tried looking
can pay
at
for a
menus
restaurant.
online. I've tried paying for restaurants. I've tried having food brought in. I do not know what it is, but there is something about about my utensils that are making them.
Your utensils are perfect, honey.
Well,
they are
thank you.
perfect utensils. You have great utensils.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just nervous.
I never even want to use
the
a napkin with you.
Oh.
I'm sorry to bother you two. Are you still looking at the menu at the hometown buffet, or can I help you guys?
We're still looking.
We're still looking.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know what? After this conversation with my wife, let's bring a sampler over.
Legit.
Your hometown buffet has a menu?
Yeah, it says the thing.
That's
the
true.
loneliest man in the world.
Right,
the
right,
one
right,
hometown buffet waiter.
So, not to beat a dead horse, but was your dad aware you can get a pizza with just half? Like he could have done half mushroom and then half whatever you wanted?
Yeah.
Dude,
And did he put the beaten dead horse on the pizza?
Next to the sardines, yeah.
Got it. All right.
Yummy.
Sardines and mushrooms.
Hey, I think we've got a sponsor this week. Is that true, Michael Hyman?
Of course it's true.
It's
very true.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's hear from them.
Got it right here. Yeah, let's just play it. Do you need legal assistance? Come to Cork Marshall's Legal Brigade. We are available 7.5 hours a day, 5 days, most weeks. We can help you with any of your legal needs. Do you have a DUI, DWI, or an IUD? We can help you there. Now, we are not technically lawyers, but we are expert in lawyery stuff. We learned from the Chuck Norris School of Lawyering adjacent technical terms, and we can give you everything you need. That's why we're so affordable. Or your incarceration is free. Are you getting called out for having a concealed carry, a non-concealed carry, an open carry, a cap and carry, a carry grant? All those things we can help you with at Cork Marshall's Legal Brigade. We are not available all the time, but just enough because we're not lawyers.
I think this is a working business model here.
I don't know. There was no legal disclaimer after that ad, so I don't know if they are really that good at lawyering.
That's a good
Well, they're not lawyers.
Always going to have that high-speed banter at the end with all those catches.
They didn't even say they'll fight for us.
That's probably
I don't think they will.
They may not be allowed to fight.
Yeah, I think they'll just kind of show up and maybe shout a little bit for you.
Which is like, it's better than what you would be getting otherwise.
Oh, I would never shout for myself. So I could really use some help.
Yeah.
We will plead for you.
Yeah. He who shouts at a judge for himself as a fool for a client. Actually, there's not too far from my house, there's a giant billboard right by the Costco on Paxton.
All right, Costco proximity brag.
Guns and dope, don't lose hope. Which is like, the OJ trial was a long time ago. And America's love affair with rhyming lawyers has kind of moved on, I think. Our culture has been destroyed not by OJ, but by one of the lawyers. and his children. But I do love that work. Like for somebody, he's like, I've got dope, but maybe I should check him out anyway. This guy seems like the guy for me. I will say, I think for me, like I was thinking about this the other day, which is the moment that I felt like I discovered freedom when I was in school was when I started to make friends outside of my actual school. Which there was a theater, Trustus Theater, that had like a youth company that I was a part of, and I like met all these other, weird drama kids from all these other weird schools. But it liberated me from feeling like the one high school I went to was everything in the universe. And I had like one of my oldest friends was there and just spent 4 years beating his head against the wall of trying to be accepted by this group of people who were never going to accept him because he was, a human. But I was so grateful. It's like, oh no, there's this whole world out here. Like that is just one small bucket where they just squeeze out some of the worst things in the universe. Like, but just come on out here. It's fine. But it's like that, that's such a freeing realization that there may be assholes around here, but I don't need to care about them. And man, it freed me from so much teen angst and opened me up to so much different teen angst.
That is an amazing dynamic. Like I've had that happen several times in my life. Like when either I switched schools or when I got my first job, because you come in like tabula rasa, like you come in as this new person, and you can, depending on the environment, you're a different person because that's what they see. And that has always been like mind-boggling to me. Because you're like, wait, I'm still the same guy. No, I'm not cool. You guys, why do you guys think I'm cool?
I mean, to get meta a little bit, I went through that in the improv training process because I took level 1 at IO, having 0 improv experience and being terrible at it because that's kind of what level 1 is for. And when I went into level 2, I was still terrible at it. But then I had to take a makeup class in someone else's classroom with all people who I had not taken level 1 and half of level 2 with. And I had this sudden thought in my head of, oh, they don't know what I can't do. They don't know who I am. They don't know all my limitations. I can be someone else. I can be funnier. I can be cooler. I can be, more self-confident. And I went in there with a completely different attitude, and it seemed to work. Like the teacher seemed really happy with me. I was pulling moves that I had never pulled in the class I was in before that. I had all these different ideas, and like it was just, you get so locked into the world of who you've been and who people expect you to be that you don't recognize, I don't have to be that person.
So you're saying you went from being like the lobster tail and realizing you could have been Appletini and shrimp the entire time. You just didn't give yourself that freedom.
Absolutely right.
I love this.
I am picturing you coming to class, backwards baseball cap, sunglasses, on a skateboard.
Oh, you were in my class.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Wait a second. Is that when you became Jet? Like that class? You're like, hey everybody, call me Jet.
Super.
All right, Jet. New year, new us. We're going to go into this high school and we're going to rock the halls. I'm going as Dave Grohl. Who are you going to be?
I'm going to be Bart Simpson. Don't have a cow, man. Right? Who's cooler than Bart Simpson?
I've been waiting here for you ever long. This is going to work out great.
Hey, dude. Don't have a cow, man.
Is that a Simpsons line? What?
No, it's my own. I've never heard of it. It's what I do. Check out my skateboard. Eat my shorts.
Are you trying to beat Bart Simpson?
Those jams?
Excuse me. What are you two 30-somethings doing in the hallways of this school? You gentlemen need to leave. I'm sorry. School has begun. Are you parents? Are your children go to this school?
Check out this principal. let's make his life miserable.
This guy's being a real monkey wrench, man.
Everything what you're saying. Excuse me, sirs. I'm already. I'm getting on the way. Excuse me, front office. Can we go ahead and get our student resource officer today?
I don't care what your real names are. I'm calling you Dave, and I'm calling you Bart, because guys,
Sweet.
Not only can I get you guys off from some serious child endangerment and predatory laws, but we've got ourselves a TV show.
That's awesome, because I'm looking for a new drummer.
You're a drummer looking for a new drummer. Already, I'm loving this pitch, guys. Look, don't worry about the law stuff. I'm a lawyer. I'll get you off of that. Let's get down to this show. Bart, what are you bringing to the table?
Well, I got my skateboard and I've got my attitude.
Attitude is probably going to be enough. I don't know that I want the liability of a 30-year-old man on a skateboard. So let's stick with the attitude.
That's cool, because I really am not good at it.
If you're going to have a drummer, what are you going to do? What's your dream? When I look at you, you look like I see hair. I see a beard. I see hair and a beard. Look, I'm just the guy that recognizes the talent. I'm just the guy that sees the possibility. But you guys...
You're talking to me, Dave, right?
Yeah, Dave.
Okay. Can you repeat the question?
I might go with Davey.
Oh, Davey's good. You should try
Age
Davey.
you.
No, I
Age you
can't
down a little bit.
I'm not Davey, okay? That's Davey Jones.
I already put it in the pitch deck. I already put Davey in the pitch deck. Yeah. Right now it's
Dave Grohl.
Order in the court / programming office.
Thank you, Your Honor, and nice tie.
All right, let's see what you got. And it better be good, or I'll send you to jail. I suppose that's my job.
Peter Jensen, representing the people and at the demographic of 18 to 35, the most important demographic.
High five.
There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes.
Wait,
Cowabunga.
Your Honor, objection.
Sustained.
Oh.
Or overruled.
Oh, touche.
Damn it! I almost had that one.
Are we winning? I don't know how this works.
All right. Back to you. Respondez-vous, s'il vous plaît.
All right. I'm going to put both of my clients on the stand at the same time. You guys are going to love this. They're like the odd couple, except they get along. And they really like each other.
It's highly unorthodox, but I'll allow it.
Cut to a confessional. I'd never seen this before as a defense attorney, but our prosecutor, but I was ready for it. Cut back
to another confessional. I have to admit, when I told him that I was looking for a drummer, I had forgot for just the briefest of instants that I also was a drummer. I don't know how I forgot that. Cut back
to the confessional. I'm not even wearing shorts. I don't know how they're going to eat them.
Cut back
to another confessional. What the hell is going on? There's a lot of confessionals in this. It's not driving the action forward. It's really a poorly run show. Cut back.
I apologize. My office was taken, so we had to book this cathedral. You're up.
I'm going to need a minute in the confessional, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
For a brief recess just to confess.
It's highly orthodox, but I'll allow it.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been 6 episodes since my last confession.
Okay. And what brings you here today?
I have an overwhelming feeling of guilt over the fact that I did not draw a full season arc. I had 1 episode and thought we would just take it from there.
Okay. Well, the Lord says that one should plan for at least 3 seasons and a pickup for back 9. So your penance is going to be 3 show Bibles and 4 People's Choice Awards.
Thank you. Thank you. And you mean show Bibles like people say they have a show Bible, but they don't really ever write one, right?
No,
okay.
You've actually got to do it. This isn't like other religions where you kind of are well-meaning but don't actually do the thing. You've actually got to follow through.
Okay. Thank you. TV guy?
You can call me Gary.
Gary. Oh, right. Gary Goldman.
All right. In the name of Gary, have we gotten this stuff already? I do not have time to wait here all day. I have time to wait here exactly 7 more hours.
Hey, it's times like these that you give again.
Ay caramba.
I'm sorry. Was that part of the pitch?
Yes.
I like it.
That was my
That
appeal.
was our closing argument.
Yeah.
That was our closing argument.
Ay caramba.
I declare pickup. Also, 3 months in prison.
Not bad, guys. Not bad.
High fives all around.
Legit. Speaking of no arc,
I've got a quick bit of freedom, unless our guest would like to join in.
Yeah, I was curious.
You know what?
Yeah.
The weirdest thing is that I was just thinking, like, because the reason why I asked like that perceived freedom is because I genuinely don't think I've ever truly felt any freedom in my life. Like it's always been like a moment of perceived freedom, and then immediately like, oh, that's an illusion.
Like
so
pizza.
I know that sounds like a bummer, but I would say all I have is just a string of. So I agree with you, Josh. I think you can have a bunch of first feelings of freedom because each time I felt free, and then I turned around and go, oh no, you just got out of a smaller box into a slightly larger box, and now you're. But now, once it's happened several times, then you realize, oh, I'm always in a box, so there is no, freedom that I will ever. Like the opportunity to feel freedom diminishes with each time that you feel freedom, and then realize that you're not free.
So I want you to forget.
Your Honor, objection. Somebody agreeing with Josh. This is very.
No, I want you to forget all of Douglas's existential angst and just remember the part where I was right.
Yeah,
So.
Josh wants Douglas to be co-host now, but Michael Hyman's
What are
here
you
and it's
talking
not
about?
happening.
He's the host. It is now the Douglas Show, starring Douglas and Dave Grohl. We're good.
I'll throw it over to Steven, my co-host Steven, who has something super legit to say.
I mean, he is really good. I mean, I'll just say out of the box. Like, I know, but I do,
and so well dressed.
I do concur that it is something where life is like, it's a series of larger boxes. But yeah, there was a feeling that I had. I was 22 years old. I left Texas, which is itself like a very big state that is actually a very small box, and moved to California. And I had like that moment of like, oh, I get to be like a brand new version of myself. And then immediately realized I had already figured out who I was and didn't need to be in California to do it, but preferred the weather, which felt so arbitrary. Like it was just like, oh, at least it's not going to be gloomy come fall. But I realized the moment I realized like the feeling of freedom was actually the reverse, because, and history will show, as all testimonials, I absolutely love my child, but the moment that it was just like the first time I like woke up at 3:00 in the morning and stared into his adorable little baby face as he was squalling and refusing to go to sleep, I was like, oh, I was free. Like there was like a whole thing where it was like, oh, like my wife and I are happily married, but there have been plenty of people that have been like, bye, to their spouse. And there's like almost no consequences for either person long term. But it was just like, oh, there's this human who I love and am responsible for. God damn it.
I feel like you could have still been free. If I may, I can showcase Josh's father. Still free to do anything he wanted.
Valid.
Yeah, all you have to do is just not care about the wants and needs of your child.
Right? He's so free. We don't know if he's dead or alive. I mean, that's...
You just hold a mirror up to his mouth. No, like actually, I would say for that same reason, like that is my most recent realization of true freedom is like now that I, am married and have a kid and a job that takes up all of my life. I remember
You're more free
a few
than
weeks
you've ever
ago, my wife and took my daughter out. They went to like a tea party or something like that. And like after like all of us working from home and like being schooled at home for a year and all that, suddenly for the first time in years, I was the only person in the house. And it's like, this is his moment of true freedom. And like, what do I do with a moment like that of total freedom? And if you think the answer was not microwave popcorn and Goodfellas with the sound on, you are incorrect. And that was true. Like my ability to express freedom has gotten smaller and felt so much more like a victory.
I'll also say that Chris's daughter, that tea party, is because she is 7 years old and very conservative.
Yeah. Yeah. The don't tread on me made out of construction paper in her room is a little much.
So a legit question.
Yeah. How legit?
Thank you. I love that we were talking about the idea of like perceived freedom then. So I think all of us are pretty smart here. I think you're all are the smartest people I know.
Except for when it comes to Zelda. But other than that,
no, you're fine.
I don't know that's. I think you're smart because you don't know anything about Zelda. I think you get extra points.
Oh, thank you.
You know how else you know anything about Zelda? Shakespeare.
If we're all playing with this idea of perceived freedom, do you enjoy the smaller things versus the big, what you would consider like the big ticket, cliched freedom? Like, do you find? And I've lived in California my whole life, so I wouldn't know. But did you find more freedom moving from one state to another state and establishing a life that way? Or did you find more freedom with the popcorn and Goodfellas?
I'm a popcorn and Goodfellas. I think I'm more of a, like, freedom comes in little moments when I'm in nature, when I am completely cut off from material or sort of ego-driven wants, which rarely tick the box for me. Like, I mean, I feel like my whole life has been about trying to achieve these goals, like get through college and make a living and have a career and have relationships and that kind of thing. And it's always in the striving that I find some freedom. But then once the thing is achieved, it's actually just, as was said, like it's just a bigger box. And you realize that actually isn't a freedom. It's actually more responsibility. It's almost like the more you have, or the more I have, the more I don't really have much, but the more I have, the more I feel like those things are actually a burden, not like freedom is when I go like, I don't care about those things. That's freedom.
Yeah. What's the term for that? What's there's a term for that? Like it's like
I think it's being high.
Nothing left to lose.
No, they call it like golden shackles or something.
Oh, yeah. Yes, the golden shackles.
Golden handcuffs.
Golden
handcuffs. There we go.
Maybe I misunderstood Josh's question, but I thought he was like, when you move from a place, like, first of all, I've never heard the idea of a series of larger boxes, which totally speaks to me.
That's great.
I think that's brilliant. Yeah. I don't know if you made that up yourself or if that's just something that came to you or if the thing. It was brilliant.
Anything said on this podcast is now part of Super Legit Incorporated. So unfortunately,
all part of the like, I think moving to LA was incredibly liberating for me. Like the most beautiful thing about LA and simultaneously one of the most tragic things about LA is no one cares about you. No one's concerned with you. No, you can do your thing because nobody cares. Mm-hmm. It's so beautiful and it's so horrific at the same time, but it's incredibly liberating. So I think, especially moving from someplace like Phoenix, as conservative and let's say oppressive as it can be or is, to LA was incredibly, for me personally, liberating.
I think that's ironic, given what I had in my mind for mine, because it was the time I went to Salt Lake City, Utah by myself. That was my moment of freedom. Talk about going to a conservative place, but it was specifically the fact that I was 18. I had a friend who lived there, and I planned this trip to see that friend. I had the money saved up. I had everything else. I knew I was turning 18 soon, and my mother and I were in therapy at that time. And so I talked with the therapist about it ahead of time and said, I'm going to have this conversation with her about the fact that I'm going to go on a trip by myself, and that I'm 18. So like legally that's up to me to make that decision. And I had that conversation with her, and, she took it a little bit a little bit harshly, but she got through it. And I did that. I took that trip myself. I flew to Salt Lake City. I visited my friend there for a week. And yeah, I had no connection other than, being able to call home or whatever to my mother, no obligation to that. Like, it was my first, very shortly after turning 18, break from all of the world I'd grown up in, the responsibilities I had, to be entirely on my own with a friend in beautiful Salt Lake City.
Super.
Hey, is your first time in Salt Lake City?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, buddy, hold on tight. This town, anything is possible. Let me tell you about Salt Lake City. People, limitless.
Wow.
What's one of your favorite things? Let me tell you what's one of your favorite things in life.
Oh, gosh.
Anything that you like.
Big. I love sex.
Great. That's something that I bet you could do anywhere on Earth. You can't do that in Salt Lake City. That's an experience you won't get anywhere else. Everywhere else, they're like, sex. Have as much sex as you want.
Okay.
This is the only place you can't have sex.
All right.
How do you like them apples? Huh?
Not especially, but it's an interesting idea. I'm gonna try to buy.
Hey, buddy, you know what? Freedom is a difficult thing to. I got to open your eyes.
I love. I really want to try a martini, or actually an appletini, specifically an appletini. I hear really good things about those.
I hear those are delicious.
Yes.
People rave about them.
Yeah.
I see them talking about it on Good Morning America.
Yeah.
Guess what you can't get in Salt Lake City?
What?
Any alcohol.
What?
Aside from something called near beer.
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. No, hold on. All right. I'll dial it back a little bit because, honestly.
Hey, buddy, I'm giving you things.
Great,
this is freedom, buddy. This is what it looks like.
I could go for a great cappuccino right now. Where
I was
can I
going to
get
take a left
cappuccino?
here, but it's going to take a little longer to get to the hotel because you're not allowed to take lefts in Salt Lake City. Everywhere else, you can take as many lefts, rights.
Yeah.
They got roundabouts in some places.
I
Not
noticed
here, buddy.
there's no
right turns.
curved roads at all. It's just a grid. It's just a perfect
It's
grid.
a grid
Yeah.
with only right turns.
Yeah, and all
That's
of the
right,
streets
buddy.
are just numbers. There's no street. Oh, there's Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Okay, they named one. Yeah.
Let me ask you this, friend.
Yeah.
What do you like on your pizza?
Oh, gosh.
You can pick any topping in the world. What do you like on your pizza?
I'm a classic guy. I love a good pepperoni and mushroom pizza.
Man, I bet you can get a great pepperoni and mushroom pizza anywhere. We don't have pizza here. We don't have pizza in Salt Lake City.
Oh.
There's not a slice in the entire city.
Oh God. Okay.
There's one guy had a slice. He tried to bring it on the plane. They shot him in the face. Shot him in the face over a piece of pizza.
Wow.
You ever heard the term pizza face for like a kid that's got a lot of zits?
Yes.
That's where it came from. It came from that guy. It happened to this guy.
Really?
And then it just took off. Took off from there.
Okay. Oh God.
And
I'm gonna
take a right here. Hold on.
I'm gonna make this simpler. I felt like I started big, and I'm just gonna keep dialing this down. God.
Mm-hmm.
I love kittens. Kittens are great, right? Who doesn't love kittens?
Yeah. Sure. You know who is a big fan of kittens?
I don't. Who?
Satan. The devil loves kittens.
Okay.
So we have kittens in Salt Lake City.
Okay. Okay.
But if you like kittens, you might not like what we do because we hammer kittens. You want to go to kitten hammering? You know what? I'm going to take you to a kitten hammering. I could describe it, but you wouldn't really understand what it is. A good old kitten hammering is what is, because you know what? You can't do that in most states.
Oh, hi there. Oh, welcome. Is this your first kitten hammering?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh God! The cab driver just he took me here. He said I had.
Oh,
said I literally
that wasn't
had
the cab
to come
driver.
Here. What?
We don't have cabs in Salt Lake City.
Not allowed.
No, not allowed. No. That must have just been John. Yeah, John. He just circles the airports, keeps on making rights, and then picks the people up and brings them over.
Okay. All right.
You seem to be laughing at a little something there.
I'm laughing at life here because I got taken in by clearly a charlatan of some sort, but it's making me feel better because I assume everything he told me wasn't true.
No, charlatan. That's an Italian word. We got any Italians here? No,
not allowed. Not allowed.
Not loud. Not loud.
If you want to speak Italian, you take that outside of town. You know how you get there? You're gonna walk out this door. You're gonna turn right. You're gonna go 2 blocks down. You're gonna take a right. You're gonna go down 2 more blocks. Take a right there. You're gonna see it's where the record store used to be before we got rid of all the record stores. You can take a right. Then you can go 3 blocks down there. Take a right. Wait. You're gonna go 2 more blocks down. Take a right. Oh no, sorry. Go straight. Then take a right.
There you go.
Then you're gonna be coming right back here. You'll be right back at the store, and I'll tell you again.
Can I ask you a personal question, just real quick here?
Oh yeah,
are you from Ireland, Chicago, and a classic Atlantic?
No, this is a Salt Lake City accent.
Okay,
I'm born and raised here. Born and raised.
Okay, I want to make sure I understood because
hey, princess. I've changed everything up now. Will you accept me now? Look, I gave up the mushrooms. I'm eating nothing but gold. I got this green hat with a clover coming off the top.
Mario, I can tell you, I see everything's different, but really now it just looks like you're doing Luigi cosplay. All right, now it just looks like you're dressed as your brother.
Jesus, Marion Bowser, what else do I have to do for you?
Listen, all right, maybe.
Okay, old man. I walked around, went to castles, went to lakes. I had fish throw some fireballs at me.
No, those are fun.
You're right. I will take the sword.
1,000 rupees.
What? Look, I'm getting the vibe that you were offended by the way that I left this conversation.
But it's just that you, I said hello, you said hello, and I said my name is, and you just turned on your heels and bolted. It was very odd.
What?
Why are you walking at this? It's hard to have a conversation with you when you're down the hall already.
Well, I'm going into English. Oh. So then Link goes in the...
All right, Zelda, there you are. You're free. We're out here in the middle of the forest, and enjoy your life.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I guess I'll find myself out here.
You're out here. You do you.
So you're just gonna leave me here in the middle of the forest by myself?
It's a trap.
All by yourself.
Who was that?
It's me. It's T-shape guy.
A T-shape? What are you doing in that tree?
Well, he put me out here years ago and said be free, and now I'm just sitting in this tree.
Oh, wait a minute. Mister, who are you?
I offer people freedom. And what they choose to do with that freedom is entirely up to them.
It's just a box inside of another box inside of another box.
Seems like some sort of curse.
It's the curse of your own limitations on yourself.
I think I like limitations. I think I'd like to be, inside of a world I understand. Where there's rules and, a very clear way forward where I can achieve things. And then, I mean, what am I supposed to do out here in the woods? What am I supposed to do? Some sort of quest or something? Or...
Well, I can take you to Salt Lake City.
Legit.
That would be the right turn thing to do.
And not knowing anything about Zelda makes it hard.
You're nailing it. You're nailing it.
I was a voice in a Zelda-based 8-bit. I have never played almost any video game. I've played very few video games ever in my life. And I played, who's the boss guy?
Ganon / Ganondorf.
Tony Danza?
Yeah, Tony Danza. Yeah. And
Ganon is his dead name.
Oh, yeah. And so I had to play this character. I had no idea what I was doing. So I was with you 100% there.
Oh, good.
I know nothing about this game.
I assume she has a deep voice and just is completely lost in every aspect of her life.
Dead on right.
I tried to help you out with my knowledge of video games, which is Tetris.
Yep.
So,
Perfect.
You and I can talk Tetris all night long. Well, I think that about wraps it up for this episode of Super Legit Podcast. Michael Hyman, I think you have some things to say to us to finish this one off.
Of course I do. Thank you, as always, to Matt Walker for our intro and outro music. This episode was hosted and edited by Jet Kaufman, co-edited and produced by Christian Heffley, and co-hosted by Michael Hyman. Every scene you heard today was improvised on the spot, along with some of the ads with only a light touch of editing for your comfort. If you're loving what we're doing, pause real quick, write a 5-star review before you close the app, and tell a friend about us. And of course, big thank you to our whole cast tonight. Jen Burton, Sean Michael Boozer, Stephen C. James, Chris Compton, Josh Spence, and our very special guest, Douglas Sarine. Doug, you want anything? Got anything to plug? Tell people where they can find you?
You know what? The good old Armando reunion has started up at the Glendale Room in Glendale, but that's just one show there. They've got lots of great shows at the Glendale Room. I encourage you to go check out that space.
I've been hearing really good things. Yeah. So
it's in Glendale.
Oh, interesting. Cleverly named.
California.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. There are a few of them. Yes.
Yeah. We also have quite a few not local listeners. So
yes, we've got international listeners. So they are really confused by these references.
So the point is that billboard's on Paxton, right by the Costco.
Well, thank you everyone for joining me, and we will see you or hear you or however podcasting works on the next episode of Super Legit Podcast.
Hey, Jet?
Yeah, what's up, Josh?
Can I have the magical sword now?
What are you going to do with the magical sword, Josh?
This is getting sexy, right?
Get all the Triforces. It's dangerous to go alone. Come with me.
All right, I'll go with you, Josh. And let's hit record while we're at it.
I don't believe anything's on all my time. I kicked the door on its hinges just so I could move on. Oh,
Hey, I'm getting the vibe that you're a little put out by the fact that I just kind of.
So Santa Claus is here. Are you guys going to open your presents or not?
So no one can hear him. All right, great.
Is he here, or am I making this up?
Yeah, no, I don't see him either.
I'm the only one who can as the host, apparently.
No.
Can
you hear him?
Zencaster's doing great jobs
Ghost Compton.
Man.
There you go.
I can't hear him at all.
Can anybody hear him?
Yep.
Jet, can you hear him?
Yes,
Did
I
anybody
can.
look in
I
their
can
back
see
seat and just find
and
my
hear him.
sweater?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So it's all of us.
I'm going to disconnect.
So when I said he left the conversation 20 minutes ago, you were like, what are you talking about?
Sorry about that. This is it's fun when we're having fun and the technology isn't.
There he is.
Hey!
Yay!
Chris!
Sorry, Compton. I can see or hear you.
Okay, so full disclosure, Chris, you realize that's what was going on when I said you left 20 minutes ago during that conversation?
Oh, I think because it all
you
froze up for me, but then everything came back and Jet was responding to me.
And I could see him the whole time.
So I could see everybody.
Yeah.
I assumed everybody else could see me. But it did, I did feel like Bruce Willis in a particular movie. I don't want to spoil. Death Becomes Her.
Oh, what are we going to do with the edit when Compton dropped and I mentioned that he dropped and apparently you didn't know that he
Who's the we in this scenario?
And that's a Heffley problem.
That's a me problem. Hef does all the cleanup. I'm the one who does that heavy lifting.
Oh, okay.
You got a budget for pickups, don't you?
Yeah.
We'll see you in a couple
We'll be
days,
back here in 3 weeks. I've booked the ADR room. We're going to do this right. Yeah.
Yeah, we got sound alike, so don't worry. You don't need to come back.
You can't afford boozer for that day.
By the way, This Is a Me Problem is a great episode title.
Gotta wait for the after show for that reference. Yeah.